Hey guys, it's Daniel Evans, and welcome to what I'm going to call Building Basics. So I've had a few people ask me exactly how I build houses in The Sims 4, and I've noticed that a lot of builders that make YouTube videos, they tend to make everything very, very fast on YouTube. They speed up their videos, and I'm guilty of the same thing myself, so I figured rather than speeding up the video, I think that it would be a great idea to show you guys exactly how it is done from start to finish with absolutely no speed building. So basically, I'm going to be building a pre-18th century home for a member of the Sims 4 community. They had requested that I build something of that nature, and it's going to be on a 50 by 50 lot, but to condense myself and to stop myself from building something so massive that I have a hard time furnishing it, I always start building big lots on a very small lot, because I have a tendency of going very big, and so I do that to stop myself. So basically this is going to be the overall basic shape. It's very boxy to start out with, and we'll be adding some pillars and some rounded porches and things of that nature to give it some shape. But the overall shape of the house is this large box, and then this is going to be an entryway of sorts, and I'll show you how that's done. So basically, we're just going to keep building on top of this right now, and then I end up, going in and cutting out some actual shape. So the main thing that I want to do to start is this giant entryway. I think we're just going to do 2 stories for now. I don't want to do anything that's too big for you guys. So we're going to do a medium wall here. We're going to focus on this part. And I'm going to take this lovely archway. Oh, we got to pull it out a bit. So we'll pull that out. It's I believe it's a 4 by 4, or 4 on the sides, and then you want to leave a little bit of room in between. So we'll have to pull it out one more over this way. And the key to this house is symmetry. So we want to make sure that we're equal on both sides. So this is 420, and I believe this one's 480, so we're going to pull that in just slightly. The good thing about Sims 4 is that you can drag and pull these things until you have what you're looking for. In The Sims 3, which many of you know I've done building since The Sims 1. It's primarily like 95% of my gameplay has been building. The good thing about Sims 4 is that you can drag and pull, whereas in Sims 1, 2, and 3, if you messed up, you were shit out of luck and had to start over. Luckily, we don't have to do that. So we're going to put in a rounded porch here on all sides. We'll have to go with the small one since we're on a small lot. Actually, since we have the general sizing here, let's go ahead and we'll save this to the library. We'll save it to just my library, and we'll move this over to the 50 by 50 so that we know what we're doing. I originally started this house last night as a speed build video, and I worked on it for 4 hours. We're going to break this down into several different videos for you guys, but yeah, 4 hours. And lo and behold, It was on a 50 by 50 lot that I had downloaded another user's creation on. I demolished their creation and started building away, and I went to go upload the unfurnished version of this house in its completion, and it gave credit to the person that I had bulldozed their lot. So we're starting over, because there's no way I'm working on a house this massive and grand and letting someone else take credit as the quote-unquote original creator. Not happening. So we'll start over, that's fine, but you can bulldoze an EA lot with no problem. If Maxis originally created it, you can bulldoze their lot, no issues, and you can build upon that. So we'll go back into the gallery, into my library, and pull that base that we started with. Go ahead and do furnished, just in case. Better safe than sorry. Alright, so now we just need to rotate. This lovely button here is the Move House button, so you just click on that when it's green. Now we'll rotate. And we'll move it back just slightly. Alright. So now we're no longer needing to move that. We'll fix this over here. And it'll give you an idea of what we're doing in just a second. So this is not going to be as big as the one that I originally built, because I felt like it was a little too big. But, yeah, it'll be just as nice. So we'll take this round porch here. When it's showing on the yellow, that means that it's good to go. And you just pull it back one to match up, and then you pull over. And when it's all yellow there, good to go. Alright, so there's that there. We're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite side. There we go, and then we're going to do the same thing upstairs as well. And sometimes that happens. So let's go down. There we go. You want to make sure that if you're new to building, that when you're putting on these porches out of nowhere, like hanging in midair to start, that you're on the exact floor that you want the porch to be on. Otherwise, it's not gonna always go where you want it to go. And there's that. Let's go back into walls real quick. We'll just give the house its basic rough structure. Again, this is rough structuring. It's not going to be this boxy when we're done. But it'll get there. And we're going to do 3 stories. Forget it. It's going to be a 3-story house. But it's going to be lots of, the interior is going to be lots of, like, cutouts and open space. And that might not make sense to you right now, but it makes perfect sense to me. Basically, like, the staircases are going to have, like, big open cutouts and stuff to where you can look down into other parts of the house. So we're going to take our copy eyedropper tool. Oh, that's right, we don't have the right height. I think they have one for the small one. Let me see if this matches it here. No. whatever. We'll just go with the middle height. It'll be tall. Big deal. And I hope you all like pillars if you're going to actually follow along the video on like your phone or something and practice building this. I hope that's what people will use these videos for, as like a follow along tool. Because practice makes perfect. I did not start out as this grand, amazing builder. It just, no, it did not work. Alright, so there is the very beginning, and then we're going to put in some pillars here. Let's see. These are the ones that I was using. Could put pillars on walls, by the way. And I think we can only afford 3 pillars there before they like stop lining up with the before they stop lining up with the fence. You can only put 3 there, and you can't put any more than just the 1 here. So it'll be 3 pillars on each side, and then go down here, walls up, put pillars on each of the corners. Can't put any pillars in between these. I did try on my original build, it just doesn't work, and if we're making our house, you know, condensed and small so that you have enough room for landscaping and things of that nature, you've got to cut corners where you can. So that's what you're going to do for all of these floors. It's just the 3. Another thing about these pillars, for some reason they want to turn. I'm not sure why. So you want to make sure that your pillars are all lined up and they match from top to bottom. Maybe we'll come across one of the building glitches that typically occurs. Maybe we won't. I had to mess around with the original build of this quite often with these pillars. They were a pain in the butt. Alright, so then once we have these pillars down, it's all about, you know, just changing the shape of the house. We don't want to make it a box. Sims do not like to live in boxes. Technically they do live in boxes, but they don't like to live in boxes. Alright, so we're going to add some foundation. I like high foundations, so we're going to go about medium height for this one. And you want to change your foundation coloring. This is the one that I end up using for this particular house when I originally built it. And just kind of scroll around, make sure that it shows up everywhere. We're good to go. Alright, now, how are our Sims get into this house? Well, first things first, we're going to want to add another porch. So the rounded porch is what I like to use for this kind of build. So we're going to put one there. I'm going to use the medium round here as well, and just pull it back just so slightly. Let's see, we can go back to right there. It only lets you go back so far. Alright, and we're going to remove this fence. So you want to kind of turn to the fence that you want, click on it, and it'll say remove fence. You click on that, you're good to go. And then this is where our staircase is going to be. It's not going to be as big of a staircase as it was in my original build. Like I said, there was a lot more space. We're going to condense this down a bit. So we're going to use some white staircases. Everything's pretty much white. It looks a little bit more elegant for this particular house. And actual fencing in here. I think this is the one that this is the one that I like to use. So EA automatically has it on replace fences. You can lay your own fences down or replace them. I use both, depending on what I'm doing. So you'll see in the house I'll actually be using the same fencing on the outside, or on the inside, that I do on the outside, and I'll end up using the draw tool to draw the fences inside. Now we'll go here and find the matching banisters for the staircase. There we go. Alright, now this is where we're going to start adding some shape. So what I do to add shape first thing is I'm going to make a cut in the back. And just a small cut, it doesn't have to be anything big. So this part right here is going to get cut out. Which you can do by drawing across and then pressing Control. And then you let go. And then we're going to go downstairs and do the same thing on all floors. And these lines right here that I'm drawing, these walls, they don't have to stay. Those are just a guide to kind of, again, make it symmetrical. But they're not going to stay. They're just there for the purposes of symmetry. Alright, so that part right there is cut out now. So we're going to take the small rounded and we're going to connect it just to the end of this right here. So it's going to match up with everything. Alright, I apparently cannot lay these down today for some reason. Alright, I think that's... there we go. Now we're doing it. Now we're talking. And then we'll just pull these together. We're going to remove that part of the fence, and we're going to remove that part of the fence. And then this big fence back here, yeah, we're going to remove that too. Oh, now we're getting there. And we have a balcony! Yay, balcony! So we're not going to bore ourselves with the details of putting up all of the pillars and stuff on this, because we're going to need to build the rest of the balconies, because, again, there's going to be a balcony like this on every floor. So, get us our shape to the house. Remove all fences there, and then up to the top story. And then once we have all the balconies laid up, then we'll worry about the pillars. So this house has the balconies in the front, the balconies in the back, and then there's going to be square balconies on the sides. And we're going to go work on those in just a second. Alright. So again, like I said before, it's all about the symmetry here, so we want to count out how many squares we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, we can count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the purpose of that is to have a shape of sorts. So that's going to get cut out here, and then this is going to get cut out here. And we're going to lay out a square balcony. So we're just going to plop that in there like that. Pull it out one. Move it over. And pull it in. See? And we're going to have these lovely square balconies all the way down. If I remember correctly, we moved over 1, 2, 3. Cut out 2. Move over 2. And cut out 2. We'll lay this balcony down, pull it out 1, move it over, and in. I apologize, my game is having a hiccup with laying down walls this evening for some reason. Alright. We're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite end of the house as well, so hope you guys like making balconies. We're not doing anything like super extensive with the balconies either, though. Like, they're not going to be crazy amounts of like chairs or anything. They're really only for decorative purposes. All right, count out 3. 1, 2, 1. Oh, I think I did it the opposite way. Did I do it the opposite way? No? Alright. For some reason I could have sworn that this had 4 boxes on one side. Oh well. And I'm trying to make sure that we can get this done in like a timely manner. I don't want these videos to be excessively long. The point of it is to kind of give you an idea of how to do it, not to bore you with the semantics of everything. So, we're gonna try to get this done in a timely manner, at least laying the outside walls, and then we'll cover, you know, like the inside walls and things of that nature in a different video if we don't have time. Alright. one more balcony to go, and then we'll put up the pillars for all of these balconies. And we'll throw some paint on this. And you can do a lot with house building, like especially in The Sims 4, with just starting with a basic box. As you saw from the beginning of this video, we started with a basic box, and now we've got a little bit more shape to it. This is actually more of a basic, boxy type of house because of the style that we're going for here. Alright, now for this we're going to have a roof, and like the top portions of these are going to also be like a balcony as well. So we're going to use this, let's see, what is this called? A hipped roof. We're going to use the hipped roof at first. Then, we're actually going to need to add our at least one pillar so that I have a something to line up with for this roof, because that's going to be over top of. Then we're going to use this gabled roof, so we want to make sure we've got walls up so we can see the hipped roof. And line that up. Now what I always do is I move it over to the length, or the width that I need, and then I pull it back. And you want to make sure we pull it back on top of that pillar, because again, that's going to be a covered balcony. And believe it or not, that is the only roof that we need for this particular house, because this right here we're going to cover with fencing. I'm going to fence by drawing. Now it looks a little off-kilter right now, but we'll add more decorative things in just a minute after we get the paint down. So this is our basic structure of the house. Oh, which reminds me, I don't need these pillars here. Had a moment. Now, of course, we're going to keep the pillars that are on the walls, but the balcony itself only needs pillars if there's a balcony on top of it, and there's no balcony on top of those. So, we do not need the... Alright, let's get friendly with our pillars here. You're going to find that these have a lot of pillars. Oh, lame. I gotta get rid of the pillars here for some reason. Alright, let's get rid of these pillars first, and we'll see if we can lay them down after we put in these doorways. And if not, we'll nix the pillars. Huh. Alright, so it won't allow us to do that. So we'll nix the pillars there. that out a bit, and pull that in, and that'll cover there. I don't know if I want that to hang over or not, I'm not sure. We'll see how it looks in just a second. Nah, I don't want that to hang over. So we'll get rid of these pillars here. No use for them. However, because we do want to cover up these lovely little holes that we created, we're going to tug our fencing up here and just kind of rework that. Because I'm lazy, you can actually do that by just creating a fence around it, but I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing that right now. So we're going to just utilize what we've been given and drag and tug. Alright. Back to putting in pillars. Looks like that's pretty much all we're going to have time for here in this particular video. As I don't want these to be long, we're going to put down these pillars, throw on some paint, and then in the next video we will cover the, whatchamacallit, windows, decorative, outside, outside decorative, like, wall fixtures and stuff like that. For some reason I can't talk. And then we'll move on to the interior in, if we have time in that second video. If not, that'll be covered in a third video. Once again, I want these to be like roughly about 30-45 minutes long, so I don't want to bore you guys with all the nitty-gritty. So we're going to just put down these basic pillars here, and then I'll move somebody in so we can take a better look at what we've done. I'm going to leave those in the back. I'll put those on in a different video. We'll cover that in another one. Let's throw some paint on here. So we're going to go with a masonry, I think it is, the one that I had picked out for this originally. Or is it under stone? Yeah, it's under rock and stone. It's like this. No, it's not. I think it's under masonry. I don't know. I can't tell you where my shit is today. There it is. Yes, it's under masonry. We're going to use the Industry Matters brick facade in the lightest color available. And if you hold down Shift, everything will paint at the same time. Well, everything that it touches, basically. So as you can see, most of our house has paint now. Yeah, these balconies in here aren't going to be painted yet. So we're going to have to throw some paint on those. There we go. And inside as well. So a little weird for anybody that's never done this before. It's actually the first time I've ever done like an entrance looking area like right here. So it's technically the outside portion of the house because the front door is going to be right there. So we'll add in a front door. I'm going to use this rounded one. Let's see if I can find like one that only takes up 2 slots, because for some reason that particular door doesn't want to work for me. It doesn't have the right amount of things to be considered. Haha, there we go, a double door. Symmetrical! Alright, so this is our basic house. Nothing super ecstatic, nothing super elaborate. Very basic shapes, but as you can see, when you put those basic shapes together, it kind of works to your advantage. So we're going to call it a night for this particular portion of the basic build video. If you would like, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this particular build, or if you'd like me to teach you how to build something else. Keep an eye out for the interior build video of this house, as well as the landscaping and all that jazz. That'll probably be in a future video to come out in a couple of days. And as always, I'm Daniel Evans. Happy simming, happy building.